He's a great guy, and you know what? Peter Shankman was here yesterday. I know Peter. Peter's a great guy. Hopefully you had a chance to see him. One of his famous quotes are, "Be amazing to the customers you have, and they will give you the customers you want." Right? Did he say that? I don't know if he said that, but he has a tendency to say that in a lot of his presentations. Well, the reason why we like the office people are they're doing just that for us. They are a great company. For those of you that have IT needs that are in the Charleston area or the greater South Carolina area, you should really look up their company. They're fantastic. And how many are struggling with allergies like me? I'll be doing that a lot. All right, so a lot of you had a chance to listen to Peter. He's got hundreds of thousands of followers on Twitter. I had the chance to roll up on a United flight with him, and I sat in first class, and I saw this guy. I think within inside of a couple of minutes, he ordered 2 or 3 Scotch and waters because he has a lot of energy. But he is one of the most brilliant social media minds in the country, and this guy defines everything. He clearly knows what his magic is, and he clearly knows what makes him successful. And I like to call that, he really understands his inner mojo. This guy defines that. So finding your inner mojo. When I say your inner mojo, I'm really talking about you, but primarily I'm talking about your company. And making that work for you, that defines, eventually, your strategy as a company. It should be what powers your company. And it seems so easy, but everybody forgets it. It seems easy, but people move away from it. It seems easy until you ask someone in your company, give me the elevator pitch of what powers our company. And if you do that, sometimes you get 6 different answers in your own company. I know we did. How do you define what your mojo should be, and how do you make it a part of your DNA permanently? Because that's what defines the success of your company. That's what will define the success of your company. It's integrating that permanently. It can be refined. It never stays exactly the way you planned. But it has to become the fabric of your organization if you're going to be successful. So it seems obvious. Trust me, you're sitting there saying, hey, we know what it is. But that it factor, it's really that it factor that becomes contagious for your employees. And if it becomes contagious for your employees, like I had the opportunity to do dinner with the office people last night, it's obviously contagious for them. It becomes very apparent for their customers. And that would be a reason why I would ask you to look them up if you haven't done so already. Then the bigger question is, guys, what's smarter than me and all the people that are talking up here all week around how to market and how to social media? We have great people in our organization that do that too. But how do you message that magic? And I think you heard a lot about whatever media you select. How do you message it? And it has to be genuine. Yep, so social media, and I'll get in trouble for saying this, but social media will do absolutely nothing for your brand or your company unless you have that magic, unless you find that mojo. And it's the political season, right? How many of you know it's the political season? A few people? Is it driving you crazy like everybody else? So when we think about mojo, we think about some of these candidates we have. And I'm going to stay out of politics, okay? We're not going to go down that road, but I will talk about people. And I'll ask you this question. If John Kasich came into this room and said, I'm going to build a wall and Mexico's going to pay for it, would you believe him? You wouldn't, would you? Why not? Because that's not who John Kasich is, right? You wouldn't believe him. But for some reason, Donald Trump says, I'm going to build a wall and Mexico's going to pay for it. Not that you believe him, but you expect that to come from him, right? You expect that to come from him. And talking about finding a mojo and ingraining it, Donald Trump, whether you like him or not, he's done that. I don't care what you think of him. That's irrelevant for this conversation. What's relevant is his magic and mojo. The power of his message is very, very simple. He does a very good job. Now, those of you that like him, you're going to be mad at me. He does a very, very good job of taking his message down to a 4th grade level. And the reason why you're going to be mad at me is you're going to say, hey, listen, for those that support him, I'm not an idiot. And that's not why he's taking it down to a 4th grade level. He keeps it simple because he's breaking through the clutter by addressing specific needs to his constituents, right? They can all understand it. Politics are confusing. I didn't realize how confusing they were until my teenagers started asking me about topics that come up and say, hey, listen, what does that mean? Well, Donald Trump has something corny because he brings it down to the lowest common denominator on purpose. Not because the people who support him are necessarily smart, dumb, indifferent, or whatever they may be. He's just a brilliant marketer.